Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be doing some more decluttering, and I wanted to show you what we ended up getting rid of in the month of September. So my husband went through his clothes and his shoes and got rid of a ton of stuff, which was so exciting. I was really grateful. But before I take this all to the Goodwill, I really want to see what else I can find. I've been decluttering myself all month long, and I have tons more to bring in here, but I do have a couple more spaces that I'm going to declutter, and we're going to make a huge, massive pile of donations. So let's go through a few other places and see how big we can make this pile. So I really need to go through my kids' clothing drawers. We're transitioning seasons right now, so I feel like there's probably tons that I can get rid of. It's completely disorganized in addition, so I'm gonna be pulling out things that they've outgrown, things that are no longer good as we're headed into fall, like swimming trunks, you know, we don't need. And then I'll kind of go through and tell you my thought process as I decide what to keep and what to declutter. I have realized that having a tub for clothes that you either think you might be able to use later because kids are going to grow into it, or things like a short sleeve shirt that you might end up wanting to use on a warmer day in the fall is really helpful. And then like right now, since it's time to switch seasons, I can just pull the summer things that are still good and put them into the bucket. And I'm not going to keep any more than what fits in here. I only want to have one bucket in my life to worry about. So I'm going to go ahead and go through these first, decide what is completely outgrown, can't be passed on, and then make a donation pile, and then we can start kind of swapping things out. Don't let this step stress you out. You're really just making a couple of piles. Keep and donate, and you can always pull things out of the donation pile later, so don't worry. This is kind of the hard part of decluttering, is feeling a little overwhelmed when you look around and see your stuff and, oh my goodness, I don't want to get rid of it because what if I need it? I actually have a solution, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. But for now, just make piles, sort these clothes, and just get a general idea of what you have. Here is what we have so far for donation piles. This one has a little stain on it. A couple of these are just too small. And then here is some summer stuff that I do want to keep for next year, or like I said, if we have a warm day. So now what I want to do is start going through this. Let's see what else we have in here that we can maybe edit down. Also, this is an amazing time to take inventory. I love taking inventory of my home and just really taking note of things that I am going to need to replace. So here's his little white church shirt, Blake's, that he's outgrown, and we don't have any ones to hand down to him right now, so I need to get him one. So I'm gonna make sure and make a note of that, put it on my list of things that need to be purchased or replaced in the near future. Unless I find one in this bucket, which I guess is possible, I'm gonna need to add that to my list. I also think he may need one other pair of jeans because I only see one pair here and he's only got one that he's wearing to school. So that's two, and I don't know if that's gonna be enough. I would love to know what some of your favorite decluttering tips are. I get so much inspiration from all of you. So go ahead and leave those in a comment down below so we can all learn from each other. All right, we've emptied the bucket, which is super exciting. I've got quite a good donation pile here going. I'm gonna stick that into a bag. And then here's what I was able to pull out for my other two kids. So here is where I am kind of halfway through this process. Okay, at this point, I'm gonna pick one person's clothing to focus on. So since I started with my middle son, I'm going to keep going with him. Even though I have everybody's clothes kind of piled around me, I'm gonna stay focused. let's take care of Blake's clothes. So at this point, I'm just gonna go through and start counting. I want him to have 7 long sleeve shirts that he can wear on the weekends and to school. So I'm gonna make sure that he has 7. And then I did find a couple of button-ups that he could wear to church. I still wanna get him a white one, but I do feel better that at least he has something. And I found him another pair of jeans. So I don't need to write that on my list of things to get him. Here are the shirts that I have left over that he can still wear. These are still great. They're in beautiful condition. He can still get use out of them. I am not donating these, and I will tell you why. I like to have what I call a home store. This is where I will go shopping if he gets a stain, a rip, loses something, and with kids, you know that's gonna happen. So I recommend having a home store. Always have a bucket of some kind where you keep things that you know there's a good chance you're gonna end up having to replace. So what I have in his wardrobe right now are 3 pairs of jeans, 7 shirts, a top for church, and an extra button up that I don't know if it fits. So I wanna make sure I try it on him before I decide where to put it, in his closet or in the bucket. But don't worry about feeling anxiety like, oh, I don't want to get rid of this stuff. I know they still fit in it. It's still in great condition. Have a home store. It is your backup. It is your backup plan, and it feels really, really nice to have that. Before I put the clothes back in the drawers, I'm just going to give them a quick wipe down. And then I do want to mention that I ended up keeping out a pair of shorts and a short sleeve top for each of the kids, because checking the forecast, I did see that we have a couple of warm days in the next couple of weeks. So if they do have a problem and end up needing more, they can always go back to that bucket, which I keep in my closet so that it's easy to access. Now I'm gonna finish up with the rest of the clothes, really minus my daughter's. She's 2, here she is, and I end up changing her clothes sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, so she does have a lot more than the other kids. I will also say that I go through her clothes a lot more often. Here I'm gonna pack up just a few things that I think she can still fit into next year. Here is the pile of stuff that we are purging for the month of September. Here is the bag of clothes that I just went through, an entire bag, and then I'm gonna add a few things to it that I kind of piled up. In fact, I'm gonna pull a couple things out of here in just a second, and I'll tell you why. This towel is super, super stained. I talked about this in a recent video, but I had some bleach get into my washer on the second cycle, which was my towels, and I didn't want to bleach my towels, but they're all bleached, so that one was really bad. I'm going to get rid of that now. Then I had a few things that I want to get rid of from last year that I'm just not going to wear this year. Then we have all this stuff from Cody. I mean tons. Like, how many bags were there? 3 or 4. Then I had mentioned to you guys, here, let me get in this little hole right here. I had mentioned to you guys in another video, I'll show you a clip, that I had this organizer that was storing my makeup, and I wasn't really sure if I should keep it or purge it. You guys gave me some incredible suggestions on how I could use this to organize like hair accessories or school supplies or things like that, and I am so grateful. After thinking about it though, I think I'm gonna purge it. That might surprise you, but I just don't feel like I can use it right now, and there's someone else out there who can, so I'm gonna pass it along. But here is what I am gonna keep. In my kitchen purge, I pulled out this bowl because I felt like we had just one too many. I'm gonna put this in my home store. Glasses get chipped, dishes get broken, so I can use this. I'm just gonna store it and not like stick it in my everyday stuff so that I have to manage it. And then this jar I had in my purge pile. It's been sitting out there for like a month, but one of you recommended that I keep my baking soda in here. I love that idea because I feel like that baking soda box is so cumbersome and awkward. It's hard to get into, so that is actually an amazing solution. So I'm gonna put my baking soda in here. It's gonna be so easy to get to. I always like to say declutter before you buy anything to organize with. So here's an example of that. I had this little box that could be used to organize anything. I mean, I could store anything I want in here, but since decluttering so much, I just don't have a need for it. So never buy your bins first, always wait till the end. So after a month, I'm feeling really, really good. And out of all this stuff, I'm only keeping that. So hang on to things for a little while if you feel like you might end up feeling the need for something that you pulled out. Like, I can really use those. So I'm glad that I didn't purge them immediately, but I did get them out of my space. So I wasn't staring at them. They weren't in my way. These towels, like, I don't need to think about. I know I'm getting rid of them. The clothes are outgrown. They're old. I know I don't need them. So I can really confidently now go to the Goodwill and give them all of this stuff. And I'm just really happy that it's not in my house anymore because we were obviously not using it. In fact, I haven't gone through my nightstand in quite a while, so I feel like there might be a few things in here that we can clear out. Let's do that really quickly. This is where I keep a lot of notebooks that I use for work. I have a lot of books in here that I actually just am not reading all at the same time. So like, why am I storing it in my bedside table? That's just not making sense for me. So I'm only gonna keep out what I'm currently reading. I have my planner that I work in every single day, so I'm not gonna clear that out. But look at all this. I mean, that's a ton of stuff, and I'm not using all this right now. I'm only going to put back in this drawer the things that I am currently using. So that's a book that I'm reading. I actually highly recommend it. It's really good. I'll put a link where you can get that on Amazon. Then I have my planner or my calendar that I use, and then my YouTube notes. I am always looking at those. My daily planner. And all I have in this bottom drawer are a few planner sticker books that I really enjoy using and definitely am keeping. A few washi tapes, and then an extra charger for my phone. Then I recommend, before you end your decluttering session, if you still have like 2 or 3 minutes, just go and look in a random place. Open a random drawer, look under a bed, anything, and see if there's anything else that you can find. I found a couple of little t-shirt tank things that are just really old that I don't wear anymore. And then this cute little Christmas bib that none of my kids wore, so why am I hanging on to it? If you need any more ideas, tips, or inspiration on decluttering, I have 2 other videos linked right here. Just go ahead and click one and it will take you straight to the video. Don't forget to subscribe for videos every Tuesday and Friday. Thank you so much for being part of my day today, and I will catch you soon. Bye!